Breaking news: Justin Baldoni has seemingly lost his legal war with Blake Lively. What's this mean? We have Christopher Melcher here to break it down.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm It's Kim, and I am joined by Christopher Melcher, attorney at law, and Andy, who is currently on the road, getting ready to go to the airport.
I literally took 2 weeks off to go with my family and pre-banked a bunch of content that now might all be irrelevant because, yes, guys, the news just dropped that all his charges have been dismissed. Look, I'm shocked, guys. We're all shocked. I'm still processing, but I'm so glad because we have Christopher was able to use his amazing legal brain to try to scan the best of what he can, sort of give us an insight. Overall, let's rip the Band-Aid off, Chris. This is bad news, ultimately, right? It's not over. It's not. There's still potential, but this is bad news for Team Justin. No?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not unexpected. Okay, so we'll kind of work through why I say that. But yeah, very bad outcome for him. He's not completely done at the trial court level, so we'll have another chance to kind of help on a couple of the claims that he's making, but a lot of those have been gutted and are done and buried, except he could try to appeal. So we'll work through each one here, but this is devastating, I would say, for him.
In an unexpected twist that left fans and legal experts alike in shock, a judge has delivered a surprising ruling that completely dismantled Justin Baldoni's case. But it wasn't just the verdict that left the courtroom buzzing. It was Blake Lively's calm, composed exit, which has sparked heated debates across the entertainment world. While Baldoni's legal team was undoubtedly taken aback by the judge's decision, it was Blake's ability to remain unshaken in the face of such a bombshell that made the moment all the more intriguing. The case, which had been the subject of intense media attention for weeks, involved accusations that had the potential to shake the foundations of Hollywood. Justin Baldoni, a renowned actor and director, had been pursuing a lawsuit that many believed could change the trajectory of his career. At stake were not only reputations, but also careers, as the case had implications for several key figures within the entertainment industry. With Blake Lively's name being prominently tied to the case, the stakes were elevated even further, drawing public scrutiny and intense media attention. What no one saw coming, however, was the manner in which the courtroom drama unfolded. As the judge delivered a verdict that left Baldoni's claims in tatters, the dynamics shifted dramatically. The courtroom, once filled with tension, was now silent as Blake Lively stood by her position, only to walk out of the proceedings with an air of calm indifference. Her reaction, seemingly unfazed by the ruling, has since left many wondering about her true thoughts on the matter and what it means for the public image of both Lively and Baldoni. Was it a calculated move on her part, or simply an example of someone who has learned how to navigate Hollywood's ups and downs with grace? Whatever the reason, this moment marks a pivotal chapter in the ongoing legal drama, and it's clear that the fallout from this case is far from over. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the unexpected turns of this high-stakes legal battle. Justin Baldoni's lawsuit was one of the most talked-about cases in recent Hollywood legal history. The actor, best known for his roles in Jane the Virgin, and his work as a director, filed the lawsuit against several parties over what he described as an orchestrated campaign to defame and sabotage his career. According to Baldoni's legal team, the suit was sparked by a series of defamatory statements and actions that had impacted his personal and professional reputation. The core of the lawsuit centered around allegations of character assassination that Baldoni claimed were initiated by a group of influential Hollywood figures. His case suggested that an anonymous smear campaign sought to tarnish his image and hinder his career growth. The lawsuit was believed to have far-reaching implications for the entertainment industry, as it raised questions about the power of behind-the-scenes maneuvering within Hollywood and its potential to ruin reputations based on personal vendettas. However, what made this case truly captivating for the public was the involvement of Blake Lively, one of the most beloved actresses in Hollywood. Lively, who was not directly named in the lawsuit but had connections to the people involved, found herself caught up in the media frenzy. While many initially thought that she was a mere bystander, Blake Lively's association with Baldoni soon became a focal point in the case. She was accused of being part of a wider network of influential figures that either played a direct role in the alleged defamation or, at the very least, supported the campaign against Baldoni. Lively's personal life, her strong public image, and her history in Hollywood contributed to her involvement becoming an emotional and media-driven aspect of the case. As a highly respected actress and a former member of a famously close-knit group of A-list celebrities, Lively's role was considered significant because of the impact her reputation could have on the public's perception of Baldoni's case. Her alleged connection to the situation gave the lawsuit an added layer of intrigue, leading many fans and critics to speculate about the hidden dynamics behind Hollywood's well-known power circles. Leading up to the courtroom showdown, the public's interest in the case grew exponentially. Tabloids and online platforms were filled with sensational stories, with many focusing on Lively's relationship with Baldoni, her close ties to other influential Hollywood figures, and the idea that there were deeper tensions beneath the surface of the entertainment world. The media, hungry for every new development, fed into the narrative, creating a spectacle that far outstripped the usual legal battles seen in Hollywood. Speculation surrounding the motivations of those involved, including Lively, who had recently come under scrutiny for her social circle and her relationships within the industry, grew as more information leaked from court proceedings. Many began to wonder if the case was about more than just legal disputes and if it reflected the cutthroat nature of Hollywood's elite power dynamics. Was this lawsuit an attempt to reclaim control over Baldoni's public image, or was it a larger struggle for influence and recognition within the entertainment industry? In the lead-up to the courtroom battle, the tension was palpable. Hollywood, insiders, influencers, and fans alike were keenly following every piece of the story. The case quickly became a public spectacle, fueled by tabloid gossip, social media campaigns, and interviews with celebrities who offered their own takes on the situation. As more individuals weighed in, the lines between personal vendettas, professional jealousy, and public perception began to blur, making this case more than just a legal matter. It became a symbol of the power struggles within the entertainment industry. As the trial date approached, the stakes could not have been higher. The stakes were not just about clearing or tarnishing Baldoni's name, but about the broader implications for how Hollywood works behind the scenes, who holds the power, and what happens when reputations and careers hang in the balance. With Blake Lively's involvement in the case, the courtroom drama took on even more significance, setting the stage for a showdown that had all of Hollywood's attention. The court was filled with anticipation as Justin Baldoni's case reached its climactic moment, but no one was prepared for the shocking decision the judge would deliver. The judge's ruling, which ultimately destroyed Baldoni's case, came as a surprise to both the legal teams and the spectators. What was expected to be a decisive turning point for Baldoni and his supporters turned into an unexpected blow that left the actor visibly stunned. But what led to this crushing verdict? And how did the judge dismantle the arguments that Baldoni's legal team had presented? At the core of Baldoni's case was an accusation that several key figures in Hollywood, specifically Blake Lively, had wronged him in a significant way. The lawsuit stemmed from an alleged breach of trust and accusations of professional misconduct, which Baldoni claimed had damaged his career and reputation. Baldoni's legal team made a strong case, presenting evidence of text messages, emails, and third-party testimonies that supported their claims. They argued that there was a deliberate campaign against Baldoni, intended to harm his standing in the industry. However, the judge's ruling hinged on one major factor: the lack of solid, irrefutable evidence that directly linked Lively or any other individual to the accusations. While Baldoni's legal team was able to present an array of circumstantial evidence, they struggled to produce a smoking gun, something that definitively proved their case. The judge pointed out the discrepancies in the presented evidence, noting that while there were implications of wrongdoing, the lawsuit lacked the legal weight needed to support such serious claims. The ruling revealed that the case was ultimately based on conjecture rather than concrete, verifiable facts. The judge emphasized that legal proceedings must be grounded in undeniable evidence rather than speculative narratives or conjecture about malicious intentions. The judge also noted that while the emotional distress caused by the situation was evident, Baldoni's team had failed to demonstrate how the actions of the other parties had directly led to the alleged harm in a legally actionable manner. As the judge delivered the ruling, there was a palpable silence in the courtroom. For a brief moment, the tension was so thick it could be cut with a knife. Justin Baldoni, who had been visibly confident in the strength of his case, seemed at a loss for words. His expression went from one of anticipation to sheer disbelief, and it was clear that the unexpected nature of the verdict had caught him off guard. Baldoni sat motionless for a moment, processing the shock of the ruling. His legal team appeared stunned as well, exchanging glances as they attempted to regroup and understand the scope of the decision. His team had expected a far different outcome, and it was clear that they had underestimated how far the judge would go in dismantling the case. As Baldoni's attorneys muttered to one another, it became clear that they would need to reassess their strategy moving forward, especially considering the way the case had been handled. But perhaps the most interesting reaction came from Blake Lively. Throughout the case, Lively had been quiet in the public eye, refraining from commenting on the accusations against her. During the proceedings, she had appeared somewhat removed, sitting silently behind her own legal team. When the judge delivered the ruling, however, Lively's reaction was anything but typical for someone who had been accused of causing such harm. Lively, who had been calmly observing the proceedings from the back of the courtroom, gave no outward indication of relief or satisfaction. Instead, she maintained a composed and serene demeanor, almost as if the ruling was merely another part of the Hollywood drama that had become her life. She nodded subtly to her legal team, a quiet acknowledgement of the win, but made no public gesture. Her calmness in the face of such a high-profile ruling left many in the room wondering whether this had been a moment of calculated control or simply an act of personal grace. In contrast to Baldoni's stunned reaction, Lively appeared unaffected by the outcome. This only fueled speculation about her true feelings regarding the case. Was her calmness indicative of a deeper confidence in her position, or had she already prepared herself for such a decision, knowing that the case lacked the necessary foundation to go in Baldoni's favor? Regardless of her reasoning, Lively's reaction was in stark contrast to the tumultuous emotions that seemed to be swirling around Baldoni and his legal team. The fallout from the judge's ruling has rippled through both the legal and entertainment communities. The decision to destroy Baldoni's case has led many to question the strength of celebrity lawsuits and whether Hollywood's elite can really be held accountable for actions that harm others. Baldoni's legal battle, which initially appeared to be a straightforward conflict, has now become a cautionary tale about the limits of speculation in legal proceedings. As for Blake Lively, this ruling has not only solidified her position in the ongoing drama, but has also allowed her to maintain her unshaken public image. While many expected a more dramatic outburst from her or an emotional response, she has demonstrated a cool-headed and methodical approach to navigating the media frenzy. Whether she has truly emerged unscathed or simply been masterful in controlling, the narrative remains to be seen. In the aftermath of the ruling, it remains to be seen what comes next for Justin Baldoni. Does he continue to pursue legal action, or is this ruling a sign that he will be forced to recalibrate his approach? One thing is clear: the decision will have far-reaching consequences for all parties involved, and the entertainment world will be watching closely as this saga continues to unfold. The judge's ruling to dismiss Justin Baldoni's case, particularly his emotional distress claims, carries significant personal and professional implications for the actor. On a personal level, the ruling leaves Baldoni facing the emotional toll of the failed lawsuit. Having pursued legal action against a high-profile individual like Blake Lively, only to have the case dismantled in such a public manner, undoubtedly impacts his personal sense of justice. The unexpected defeat could tarnish his reputation, particularly if fans and industry insiders perceive the ruling as a result of a weak case or unsubstantiated claims. Professionally, the ruling could have long-term consequences for Baldoni's standing in Hollywood. While he remains a respected actor and director, the legal battle could affect his future opportunities in the industry. Lawsuits involving emotional distress and public accusations often become part of an actor's personal brand, potentially overshadowing their work. Industry professionals, from producers to fellow actors, may question the motivations behind his legal battles, which could impact his collaborations and influence in Hollywood. Moreover, the public fallout from this case could make it difficult for Baldoni to regain the same level of respect he once enjoyed. Celebrity lawsuits are often seen through the lens of public opinion, and in this case, many may see the loss as an indication of weakness or a lack of solid evidence. Moving forward, Baldoni will have to work hard to restore his public image, potentially diverting his focus from his career to salvaging his reputation. For Blake Lively, the judge's ruling offers a powerful reinforcement of her public persona. Throughout the legal proceedings, Lively remained composed and poised, a characteristic that the public has come to admire. Her calm, collected response to the verdict shows that she was prepared for the ruling and that she is in control of her public narrative. This controlled demeanor has only strengthened her reputation as someone who remains unshaken by adversity, which could resonate positively with her fans and Hollywood colleagues. The ruling may also allow Lively to move forward with minimal damage to her career. In Hollywood, maintaining a clean image is crucial, and by emerging from this high-profile case unscathed, she can continue to focus on her acting career and business ventures. The case, which was primarily centered on personal issues, has now been resolved, clearing the way for Lively to take on new projects without the shadow of a legal battle hanging over her. From a professional standpoint, Lively's ability to handle the situation with such poise enhances her standing in the industry. Her reputation for professionalism and emotional control is solidified, potentially opening doors for more diverse roles and major endorsements. Additionally, her calmness throughout the ordeal positions her as a powerful figure in the entertainment world, one who can weather storms while maintaining her public dignity. In conclusion, the ruling has far-reaching implications for both Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. For Baldoni, it marks a setback in his public and professional life, requiring a concerted effort to repair his reputation. For Lively, the ruling reinforces her position as a poised and powerful figure in Hollywood, offering her the opportunity to move forward unscathed. As this saga continues to unfold, the industry and the public will undoubtedly keep a close eye on how both stars navigate the aftermath. In this shocking courtroom drama, the judge's decision to destroy Justin Baldoni's case against Blake Lively has left the entertainment world in disbelief. The case, which garnered public attention due to its high-profile nature and the involvement of two beloved celebrities, saw a surprising turn when the judge swiftly ruled in favor of Lively, dismantling Baldoni's claims. Despite the high stakes and emotional tension, Blake remained calm throughout the proceedings, a demeanor that only heightened the intrigue surrounding the trial. The courtroom reaction, as well as the unexpected twists in the legal battle, kept the public on edge, and the final ruling raised more questions than answers. Looking ahead, both Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively will likely have to navigate the fallout from this event. For Baldoni, the public defeat could tarnish his image, especially considering the nature of the case and the emotional undertones that accompanied the trial. It's unclear how his career will be affected, but he may need to take a step back from the limelight to rebuild his public perception. On the other hand, Blake Lively's poised reaction could further solidify her position in Hollywood, proving her ability to handle public scrutiny with grace. The ruling could pave the way for future career opportunities, but the attention surrounding the case will likely continue to follow her for some time. Celebrity courtroom dramas like this one often captivate the public, reflecting the delicate balance between personal lives and public personas in the entertainment industry. Such events spark intense media speculation, drawing fans into the drama while highlighting the complexities of handling public scandals. How celebrities navigate these situations and how they emerge from them becomes a part of the story that continues to unfold, keeping audiences invested in their journey.